Why this is little dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone? Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York, Blind. I'm here with Kadir and D'Angelo, driving to the murder scene of Boss Callahan again, for D'Angelo to help me investigate it, so let's just continue. After dropping us at the same place Catherine first introduced me to Mia, Kadir drives away quickly. Here we are. Well, classic closed room mystery. Let me take a look. He starts walking around the office, carefully taking in every element. So, you're saying you're basically a nobody, but you can simply call Catherine Wise and have her open Sesame on an Anarch crib for you? I don't know, that sounds like somebody to me. Don't misunderstand, I only met her during the course of the investigation. Everyone's basically been treating me like dirt wherever I go, and I'm only acknowledged enough to legitimize this sham. Lord Castlereagh. What? No, that was an abrupt interruption. I was busy sharing, damn it. Excuse me? He's pointing at the painting of the man overseeing the entire office. I met Murder on the way. He had a mask like Castlereagh. Very smooth he looked, yet grim. 7 bloodhounds followed him. So it's a poem of some sorts. Again, I'm not familiar with it. He seems to have completely switched his modus operandi upon seeing the murder scene. He's in his own little world, and his behavior has become more machine-like, erratic. I still don't follow. I never knew the old Irish coot was into Napoleonic era, but then again, I've no idea about his exact age, of course, so maybe that's when he lived, or was born. Anywho, and pay minimal attention to me, alright? Who am I looking at here? Right, that's one Lord Castlereagh, born as Robert Stewart, a British secretary for the State of Foreign Affairs at the beginning of the 18th century. Incredibly influential, incredibly hated. Ask any fellow about Castlereagh, and they will tell you he was the man who destroyed Napoleon for good, the man who shaped the British politics for ages, the man who built foundations for the European unity at Vienna. Ask another fellow, and he will tell you he was the man who destroyed the Irish Parliament, the man who cracked down on any possibility of reform, and then supported the cavalry, massacring peaceful protesters. He's spouting these facts like a computer. Is that a hint of a detective's photographic memory? I have to say, it's downright perverted for an Irishman to put up Castlereagh's portrait in his office. Definite proof that our victim was sick in the head. As if we needed more evidence there. Probably idolized him too. Maybe identified with him even. Yeah, that's possible. Callahan and his ilk adore those jagovs who strive to reach across the aisle and achieve hard compromises. Too bad nobody else ever remembers them well. I feel like I should have said something. I've got this nagging feeling in the back of my mind. So, how did he die? Is she talking about Lord Castlereagh or Callahan? I guess both questions are kind of interesting, but obviously Callahan's matter of death seems far more pressing at the moment. So, how did he die? Committed suicide in the 1820s. His family took every sharp item away from him. He was, well, dedicated. Well, so I guess he's answering about Lord Castlereagh. Why did he do it? Pressures mounting from all sides. Deserved hate coming from all sides. Plain old overwork. Also might have gone nuts. Kept saying he saw ghosts. Otherworldly silhouettes were guiding him, yada yada. An unpleasant feeling grows in my stomach. Also, there's a rumor someone was threatening to expose him as a homosexual, having to choose between being publicly denounced and ending it all by his own hand. He chose the latter. Well, that's just depressing. Maybe, but the silver lining is, it couldn't have happened to a nicer fella. Which I believe is probably thick with sarcasm as well. He stops about Callahan's corpse and laughs. Posterity will never survey a nobler grave than this. Here lies the bones of Castlereagh. Stop, traveler, and piss. Okay, if he came up with this on the spot, then that's quite good, actually. He kicks the bones with glee, causing me to jump a little. Is he still under the influence? Isn't that tampering with the crime scene? Kiddo, as far as I can see, the crime scene has been fucked with 3 times over. Can't be ruined more than it already has been. I agree, but it looked about the same the last time I was here. Then it was already a total mess before you ever got here. Whatever. Standing by the metal shutters on the windows, he abruptly changes the topic. Lightproof. Have you toyed with these? No. In general, I avoid machinery like that. It doesn't like me, and I don't like it. And they don't like you. They don't work properly. It's like I give technology an allergy. Sometimes industrial cameras mess up my face. Sometimes I can't use a phone. You'd think it could be useful, but it's just a curse. You see, you think these blinds could have been the murder weapon? To be honest, wouldn't he burn? Like, if he was exposed to the sun, wouldn't there be just ashes left? To be honest, it didn't cross my mind, for the exact reason I'm talking about right now. I assumed that if he was burned, if he was exposed to the sun, he would have burned to dust, basically. Because I assume that's what happens to vampires if they get exposed to the sun. Or like his clothes would have been burned as well, and I don't think the game ever described that, so haven't crossed my mind, to be honest. Then let me explain. Let's say for some reason our stiff was standing right there as the sun was rising, maybe staring at poor old Castlereagh, looking for some soulmate to accompany him to the other side. Yet another guy, pushed to suicide by politics, pretty old school, romantic and yada yada. Or maybe it was torpor, maybe it was a freak accident, or maybe it was premeditated. In any case, sunlight would be a perfect murder weapon, no? He takes off the mask to shoot a disfigured smile my way. Well, that's just a theory anyway. It sounds sound, does it? Does it really? Like, if I understand the way sunlight, affects vampires, he would have burned when exposed to the sun. And even if he wouldn't crumble to dust, his clothes would still have burned when his flesh ignited. So, it seems implausible to me, but oh well. Does it? Because I was just spitballing it. It's practically impossible to make certain now, kiddo. The most logical cause of final death would be damage to the heart, and that can easily be done without damage to the skeleton. He sets off with a wink. What is he playing at here? Safe. Has anyone made a crack at it yet? As far as I know, only Callahan knew the code, and the safe itself is pretty hard to crack. Watch me, kiddo. He presses an ear to the safe and slowly begins to rotate the dial. Stop clowning around. Stop clowning around. You're a safe cracker now? When you're cursed with continents such as mine, and you decide on a job such as mine, you've got to be a jack of all trades. Yeah, but still sounds pretty hard. Last year, there was a random fellow visiting a heritage museum in Alberta. He found a safe that hasn't been opened in 40 years. Not a single specialist, not even a blacksmith, could have handled it. The man just studied the numbering, listened closely to the mechanism, attempted the most sensible combinations, and voila, the unthinkable happened. That's where just trusting your instinct leads you. Too bad he found nothing inside but an old pea sheet. A metallic scratch, the door open. I'll be damned. And it looks like we've got the same case here. Confetti? A few random papers scattered around. But for what it's worth, the lock has obvious traces of mechanical manipulation. Probably recent too. Reeks of foul play. But what do we know for sure, really? I'm done here. You can take over. Another wink, another walk in the random direction. I look inside the safe. It's quite spacious. I haphazardly grab everything that's left inside the safe and hid it on my person, and close the door that nobody knows he managed to crack it. And I turn around. He's motioning to me to come closer to the sheet of paper lying on the desk. So yeah, kiddo, you probably know the entire beeswax about the Schrodinger's cat, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but honestly anything could have happened here. I read the text he has written on an empty page. This place is wired. It gives me chills. And does he mean like... does he mean wired as in they can hear us? Or can they also see us? Because obviously in the latter case, we have kind of goofed because we have just broken into the safe. But I guess he's probably talking about them hearing us, right? Because that's why he wrote it down, because he didn't want to say it out loud for it to be picked up by the, by the microphones. I think I'm okay. I tried to record my own voice a bunch of times on different hardware just to see if I can. Mostly comes out as noise. Why would you say it? Why would you risk saying that? She could have easily written that down. He nods and then starts scribbling something else as he continues blabbering on and on. The best strategy was to make an educated guess about what happened here, and then interrogate everyone about it. Maybe you will take someone by surprise. Drop a hook on them. The wiretap is a chin in the broken bottle on the floor. Absolutely sure it belongs to Kaiser. Kaiser, that elusive information broker, the talk of the city, finally got an excuse to nab him. I understand. I think I have an idea of how to use it to find him. Should I notify Kadir? And scribble. Takes no longer than before. So yeah, I'll be meeting up with Kadir. You stay here, sister. Maybe there's something you've been missing. Your call, doll. You're going beyond his jurisdiction, so he will try to stop you. Whatever you do, just give me a 10 minutes head up. So that I can get to relative safety. For sure. It's back to the sheriff's custody for me. See you around, Julia. Sorry this old codger couldn't have been more helpful. It was more than enough, thanks. Whatever I got was plenty. See you around, D'Angelo. Okay, those transitions are kind of weird sometimes. I've got a plan. Now all I need to do is execute it as a clueless bystander. This guy will do. Wait, I probably have read something wrong. Oh, now all I need to execute it is a clueless bystander. This guy will do. Okay. I get it now. So do you need me for anything else? Not really. Better take a hike before the guy you've just called shows up. I can't guarantee he won't make you hurt. Will do. He puts his head down and obediently trots away down the street. I might have messed with his head a little too much, using my kindred charms, but I needed him to tell Kaiser where I want to meet quite clearly multiple times. I would have given him the kiss as thanks, at least, but I told the big man I won't be here all night and that he better hurry up, so I want to be ready whenever he comes. Less than 15 minutes later, a menacing black limo takes a sharp, fast turn onto my street and stops right in front of me. Suddenly, something like an acid flashback hits me. I know this limo. I've seen it all over the past few days, but never thought it might be tailing me. Still, it must have. Looks like I'm finally about to get some answers. Doors open and a raspy voice comes from the inside. "Get the fuck in, Sovinsky." I smile and accept the invitation. There he is, Kaiser, the king of New York City's information highways, surrounded by screens, speakers, and newfangled technological gizmos of all kinds. First impressions? He's one repulsive son of a bitch. D'Angelo was also a sewer rat, and he might have had similar physical disadvantages, but at least he was wholly endearing. With this guy, there is no room for any kind of sentiment. He's inhumanly cold, and I get the feeling he's been like this for ages. You're getting on my nerves, little lady, and I'm far from being the only one. I get the sense that he meant for all of this to be threatening. Instead, I'm elated. After a week of running around like a headless chicken, unsure if I was getting anywhere, finally I get a compliment. If there's one thing I learned back in Lodestar, is that you only know you're doing your job when someone powerful gets visibly mad. I have no idea what you mean. No need to play dumb, especially considering you're a natural. The art hole, double spiral, DSI, Torque's den. How does it feel to have made enemies absolutely everywhere? He scoffs at me with pure contempt. Listen, I will speak as plainly as humanly possible to get it through your little head, since it's obvious that you're not willing to read the obvious signs. You were hired for one thing and one thing only, lady, to suck at your job, and you couldn't even do that correctly. People keep stopping by my limo this week, telling me, "Kaiser, dear Kaiser, we keep trying to make her understand how hopeless she is, but she just won't get a clue." She doesn't even have any evidence, she doesn't have any testimony, but she still goes knocking on everyone's doors, causing disturbances. It's such a fucking headache. Usually, I try to be a jovial host, so I cheer them up. "She's not that much of a dunce," I say. "She's making mountains out of molehills to make her seem useful," I say. "She's about to stop." But you, in your infinite idiocy, decided to prove me wrong in the most spectacular fashion, by knocking on my very own door, forcing my hand, threatening me even. Well, yeah, to be honest, I said that a number of times. I feel like my character is botching her approach to all of this, but I guess she's not botching it hard enough so that it's in line with the Camarilla's expectations, because they wanted her to achieve nothing, and she has achieved something, but I still feel like she's using the information that she has in a bit of a haphazard, kind of random and very rash and impulsive way. Are you autistic or something? Huh? Can't you read basic social clues? Stop for 1 second and ask yourself, cui bono, which means who benefited? Who even fucking wants you to solve anything, let alone this case? See, this city has a delicate system set in place. Usually it's flawless, but ever since you started tinkering with it, it's been having those irritating malfunctions, and it's driving people. Are you done? A weird, disgusting sound, Something between a gargle and a bark escapes his throat. Unbelievable. All I'm hearing is that you are in possession of some information that might help me solve the puzzle I'm presented with. If that's the case, I'm going to ask you to share it. I swear, you're absolutely irredeemable, you fucking garbage dump of a woman. How do I get through all of the rubbish in your head to drive my point in? Do you know who I am? To be honest, I can't really get I can't really properly decide what to do, because I think all of this has been kind of botched from the beginning. I don't think she should have confronted him so directly, just because she found one piece of evidence that he was kind of involved. Like, what do I have apart from the fact that he had Callahan's place wired? To be honest, if I am going to botch it, I might as well botch it all the way. I think I'm going to say it. Maybe I can play it in a way where I pretend to know more than I already do, so that he talks about something that he thinks I already know. So he considers this information worthless, because he thinks his cover has kind of been blown to a certain point, whereas in truth I only know less than I let on. Let's try it. I don't envision much success, but to be honest, I envision even less success with threatening him, because he could kill me. I'm pretty sure, with being a powerful vampire, much older than I, he could kill me quite easily if he just wanted to. Oh, I know who you are. You are the you are the person who had Callahan's place wired, which makes you a possible witness of sorts, or even a suspect. Ha! For Christ's sakes, woman, get real. Even if your accusations were correct, then who, pray tell, would you report them to? Do you even know what kind of people I answer to? No. Care to acquaint us? Is that really what you want? You want to know who pulls the strings? Give me 10 minutes and I can arrange a meeting. But this is your last chance to turn back. If you don't, I can tell you now, you're going to be sorry. The big kahuna, finally. Now we're talking. Yeah, the big kahuna. So this is your final answer, huh? Absolutely. Unbelievable. He takes out his phone and begins furiously typing. I relax in the seat. Finally, we're getting somewhere. And it might be dangerous, yeah, but at least we'll finally get a clue about what's going on. I'm just saying, this is the point of no return. My boss doesn't fuck around. Best case, you're going to beg him to take you in. Whatever, he keeps grumbling under his breath, but I'm not even listening. I just watch the streets go by. Until out of the blue, I experience a strong sense of foreboding. I first spot her in the corner of my eye. She's hovering next to Kaiser with an expression that's impossible to discern. When she speaks, her voice is machine-like, yet otherworldly. Fine. We're 5 minutes away or so. Get the boys ready to give her the Mel Gibson special. So is the ghost warning me about a trap? The moment he puts away his phone, the silhouette disappears. We're 5 minutes away. Better start figuring out ways you might prove yourself useful to the honcho. There is no honcho. Oh my god, of course the motherfucker is setting me up. I need to get out of here now. I do the first thing that comes to mind. I grab the door handle and pull. He notices me scrambling and struggles to grab me. Hold up, you stupid fucking cunt. Glass breaking, loud thuds of something heavy hitting the asphalt, tires screeching. I think he grabbed me. I think he tried to pull me back in. I think we fell out of the limo. I think his body cushioned my fall. But I'm struggling to process what's going on. It's like I'm blanking out. When I come to, he's already attempting to get up, cursing under his breath. The limo has stopped a little further in, but whoever the driver is, he's not coming out. Fucking... When he stands up, he will be out for vengeance. He's an older vampire who knows how strong he is. I need something that will give me the advantage. The pepper spray, of course. Probably won't be as effective as it would be on a living person, but it's still worth a try. Is it? Is it really? Are you really? Are you trying to use pepper spray on an elder vampire? Like, come on, are you nuts? Like, again, I don't think this would work for the simple reason that the vampire is no longer alive. Like, its eyes, its nose, its body is not functioning as a living body. They don't have tears. They don't. Well, I guess they can cry tears of blood, but basically, I don't think you can. Like, I don't think it would affect a vampire in any way because their body runs on magic. I don't think you can irritate their eyes or something with pepper spray of all things. I limp towards the asshole, disarm the device, aim towards his eyes, and unload the entire canister. Is she stupid? Like, that's kind of the feeling I have. Like, to be honest, I think she should be running more than anything else. Well, I guess maybe it did work a little bit. It worked. It actually worked. I keep up the offensive. I punch him. I kick him. I throw him around. I pummel him. I smash his head against the curb. I struggle to harm him in whatever way I can, like a frightened animal. I don't know how long it lasts. Might be 1 minute. Might be eternity. The driver steps out of the limo to help his boss, but once he sees what I'm doing to him, he runs away in panic. It feels good. Well, to be honest, it feels unreal. I don't really believe this is happening. How could he have lost to me? I've literally been a vampire for like a couple months, and he's presumably been a vampire for decades, or maybe even for ages, for actual centuries. Feels absolutely horrible. Once I'm done, I sit on the curb and scream my lungs out to avoid crying. Then I look at him. How did it even I don't believe this is happening. Is this some kind of a weird hallucination? He seems shocked, barely hanging on. I know what I've done was extremely stupid. I did hear that he's one of the most influential figures in the city. Well, to be honest, at this point, she should probably go all in and try to kill him, because I can't imagine this ending well for her after she beats him up, but then lets him live. He's probably going to remember that. But that's probably why he never expected to get his ass whooped. Especially by someone like me. When he speaks again, his voice is pathetic, surprisingly close to a whimper. You'll pay. You'll fucking pay, you lost, mislaid and abandoned property of a woman. He's unwell, talking nonsense. I approach him again. You wanted to have me whacked? What, do you think I'm stupid? Well, to be honest, I kind of do think she's stupid. You needed to be taught a lesson. Well, would you look at who ended up teaching who? Now talk. Tell me everything you know about Callahan's final death. All of it. Go to hell. You can fuck me up however bad you want. I'm still not going to tell you shit. You try anything, there will be consequences. There will be retribution. My mouth is shut. It might be my last chance to solve this case, but if I don't force him to talk, he won't. There's a burgeoning thought in my mind, but it scares even me. Do I dare to push him over the edge? Make him suffer until he weaks? So basically the game is asking me whether I want to torture him? To be honest, if anything, I probably think I should kill him. Not necessarily torture him, just kill him to avoid his retribution. But I've been trying to be mostly kind of decent, so like, as much as I feel like I should, because if I do nothing, then all of this was for nothing, and it will accomplish nothing. But I can't bring myself to actually torture him, even though I feel like it's pretty difficult to effectively torture a vampire. Like, you would have to get fire or like true faith, or like something, you know, something that actually hurts them on a deeper level, because all of the physical sensations, like getting shot, is pretty much nothing to a vampire. It's all dampened. Well, I guess I won't torture him. Let's try being decent. It seldom ends well in the world of darkness, but no, it's a game. I can afford to lose. No more human, but still humane. All of you might be fucking monsters, but that doesn't mean I am. Big words for someone who just beat up her fucking elder. I will still get back at you. I will appeal to whoever I can. Yeah, sweetheart, whatever. See, that's the good thing about being the lone voice of dissent. It's a mutually beneficial deal. One side gets the unearned moral superiority, the other side gets no resistance whatsoever. Oh, I will resist, but by whatever means necessary. Spare me. Tomorrow night you will see the compromise that everybody has agreed on long ago. Progress is coming like a train. If you want to throw yourself on the tracks, be my guest. I would love to watch. Tomorrow night? Why tomorrow? Julia! I look back over my shoulder and see Kadia. Kadia? Bloody hell, what is wrong with you? Why does he look like that? This is why I said I didn't want you to get involved. I had a hunch. Hunch that the moment you get a whiff of true power, all brakes will be off. Look, you're talking nonsense. You're out of your damn mind. I should have you in for potential masquerade breach. Just let me explain myself. This ugly fucker tried to have me beaten, maybe even killed. Don't you care about that? I have no idea, Sheriff. No idea. She's dangerous, psychotic. I will take care of you in a moment. In my car, Kaiser. Hold on. I'm not done questioning him yet. It looks like there's a major conspiracy too. I'm going to ask you to leave, and you're going to be glad I leave it at that. If you do that, I'm going to have to assume you're complicit. That's worth 2 strikes in my book. I don't want to risk a third. So that's that? Tell me, what was all of my footwork even for? We'll be seeing each other, little lady. Can you hear this? Go home, Julia. But go home. Fine, I will. But before I do, I take a quick peek into Kaiser's limo, still abandoned a little further down the street. I skip the church visit again tonight. Wait, didn't the game tell me what was inside the limo? Hey, it's weird. I skip the church visit again tonight. I want more time to finish this report. Who knows, it might be my final one. I want to spend more time with Dakota. Yeah, just forget about the rest of the world. A lot happened tonight, but I can still manage to be at our apartment an hour earlier than usual. She should be glad. I sneak into the apartment as silently as possible, trying to surprise her. When I reach the bedroom, I see something unexpected. It hits me like a ton of bricks. At the beginning, I can't properly parse the sight. But when I finally understand what I'm looking at, it causes a wave of terror and disgust to swell inside my chest. Wait, what? What is different? Like, I guess her clothing is different, but apart from that... What the fuck? What? I don't understand what's the significance of whatever change has happened. She's clearly startled. She's shocked to see me, doesn't know what to do, like a deer in the headlights or like a schoolgirl poorly trying to hide her misdeeds from a teacher. You're early. Is she cheating on me? Yes, I am. These are my clothes, Dakota. These are my cigarettes. That's my jewelry on the table. Yeah, I was, Oh, wait, that isn't that weird. Like, to be honest, it's a little kinky, I guess. It's not even that kinky, because they are both women, so her wearing my clothes is not particularly weird to me. Like, if she was a man, then I would find it a little weird, but still, is it something to really get that angry over? Like, if I was gay, I could easily imagine borrowing some of my partner's clothes, like from time to time, if we had a similar fashion sense. Is this really something to get mad over? I don't quite understand the dynamic that's going on currently, in this moment. And I'm pretty sure, God Almighty, I thought I was being neurotic whenever I noticed something dreadfully familiar in you. I can explain. Please do explain. A good 10 seconds of awkward silence pass. I can see her spending an eternity in her head. This isn't what it looks like. To be honest, what does it even look like? Like, well, if she's impersonating me, then obviously that would be a major breach of trust. But I don't think she can, because obviously my hair is of different color, for one, and second, I am a freaking vampire and she's a human. So I don't understand the significance and so sort of the gravitas of the situation as the game tries to present it to me. Like, what's the matter? What's wrong with her wearing my clothes? I don't really know. Oh my god, it's exactly what it looks like. I will just come out and say it. What? Dakota, are you single white femaling me? What? What does that even mean? I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what's the problem here. It all makes sense now. It doesn't to me. I am utterly lost. No, come on, no. I thought I was the leech in this relationship. We watched that movie together. We made fun of Jennifer Jason Leigh together. A roommate stalking and imitating her own roommate. Ahahaha, what a concept, right? But I was being fed on in a far more sinister way without knowing it. Don't be silly. Silly? I've never been this serious with you. So, whenever she put on my makeup, whenever I used her as a mirror, was she always hyping me up because she wanted to live vicariously through me? So many little things make sense in retrospect. The little ways you kept modulating your speech after me, the weird ways our tastes were always compatible, some of your art feeling so familiar. none of it would trigger any alarms by itself, and yet she's as humanly embarrassed as possible. Julia, listen. Don't fucking touch me. I can barely think of anything more repulsive than being put on a pedestal like this. It's like the other person is begging me to perceive them as something worse, if not outright subhuman. So, to be honest, is Julia angry about the fact that that Dakota is trying to sort of emulate her, imitate her, instead of being her own person? She did mention that ever since she was embraced, she had a growing distaste for like servile people, for people who can stand up for themselves. Because to be honest, to me, it's more sad than kind of infuriating. Like, it's kind of weird, I guess. Because at first I assumed it's only the clothes, which I wouldn't see any problem with, but I guess Julia right now is talking more broadly about Dakota sort of trying to model herself after Julia, which is a little bit weird, I will give you that. But even that, I personally, as a player, find it more sad than infuriating. Don't be like this, just don't. You know, this probably would be infinitely more palpable if you talked to me like a person here, and not like, I don't know, your fucking mummy. You know what? Fuck you. I've been locked in this apartment by myself because of the pandemic shit going on. It's fucking me up. I know you've had it hard here right now, so I didn't want to bother you. Yeah, I was counting on you to ask about how I'm feeling. Babe, how is your work-life balance? Aren't you feeling claustrophobic? Hey, is it just me, or is our drug supply weirdly shrinking too fast? But no, you are too much of a self-centered bitch. You regularly sucked me dry and it's okay, but the moment I entertain the thought of taking something in return, I'm crossing a line? Oh no, I am a member of an immortal elite secret society. It's so hard to cope. Dakota, whenever I gracefully decide to visit our apartment, let's just do what I enjoy until the pain stops. Fuck you. Fuck you, sincerely. Just fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. There's nothing you can do but take, and you should have learned by now that just taking won't make you happy, you big dumb bitch. Stop, just... I don't know what to say. I feel disgusted, both with her and myself. Just stop. Dakota breaks down crying. She grabs the jacket and the purse, and then runs out of the apartment. I don't try to stop her. I stand there for a second in silence and lock the door. Did she take the keys? I don't know. Well, her keys? I don't know. And I don't know if I care. I desired for someone else, not for myself. For a way to open a different world, not get locked back in mine. I collapse onto the soft bed. I smell her perfume. I always liked it, but now it makes me slightly nauseous. I try not to think of Dakota. I think of Kaiser, I think of Kadir, I think of Callahan. No matter what I think of, I sense doom. I feel that I've just sealed my fate, whatever it may be. Everything just fucking sucks. Back into the void, back into the void, back into the void. And I probably need to rest. Yeah, right. But this is actually a pretty decent moment to end this episode. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.